Hello and welcome, everybody. How are you doing? Tell us where you're tuning in from. Welcome to another great episode from your favorite show, Think Big and Be Inspired. Today, we have a very special guest. She has years of experience in sales and marketing and digital transformation, value engineering. She is Philippa Anderson. Philippa, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you, Ahmed. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for coming in for the show, and I'm really happy that you are stepping in videos and going live. Really exciting times for you, and I appreciate you coming today.
No, thank you for inviting me and thank you for having me as a guest on your show. Very excited.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Philippa. I've been watching all your posts, and I'm happy to have you with me today. Philippa, you have a big journey in corporate life. You went from leading roles, marketing, sales, product innovation, I've seen, and lately digital transformation, value engineering. Where is the area of your passion? And tell us about this story and what do you love more in all these areas and industries that you worked in?
Yeah, which one of those is my passion? Kind of all of them that you list and none of them. Um, so, it's a difficult one, but no, I started out in sales and then moved into marketing. Spent most of my career in there, but within marketing, I've kind of covered really large scope of different types of marketing. But where my passion really lies, where it
Yeah,
really is, it kind of sits across all of these things. So it's really about people in international business. That is the side that gets me excited. That's the thing that, gets me up in the morning and helps me do what I do. So I lead a lot of projects and programs and those kinds of things. And as all project leaders and change leaders out there will tell you, it's really very much about the people side of things. It's not so much about processes and making sure you've filled out the correct stakeholder mapping in exactly the right detail. It really is about looking after the people and looking out for the people, working with people, and that's the part that I love. And for me, I sort of got that passion for international business from an early age. So I was born in Japan. My parents lived over there for 11 years. And then I was brought up in the UK. Then I lived in the Netherlands. Then I've lived in the US. And I've just recently returned to the Netherlands about 6 months ago.
wow.
I've loved every minute of it. It's what I've always wanted to do. And yeah, the joy it brings. So I've met the most incredible people. I've worked with the most incredible people. I've learned so much about myself through doing all of that as well. Things that you would never think about when you live in your home nation. And it's been just a massive gift to do all that. And there's always a but. And I know I'm not allowed to use buts. We'll get to that.
Yes, we're coming to that. Yeah.
But with all of that joy, what I discovered on my own journey was that it also brought extra challenges working
Yes.
interculturally and working with people from different nations. And a lot of the time I was the odd man out. I was the lone international in a sea of everybody from their home culture. And
Yeah.
it really made me learn a lot about people, about the differences that we have, that we might not even know we have, and just how we see very basic things. You think, well, you see something a certain way and it's obvious. Everybody thinks this. But in actual fact, we don't. A lot of how we think about things and how we see things is based on the national culture in which we mostly grew up in. And so I realized how much of me was English rather than me. And it was quite a discovery and interesting journey, but it also opened up my eyes to the struggles that people do face when they're working interculturally.
Yes.
So this is where my passion lies. It's based on me having experienced the good and the bad.
Yes.
But then, how do I help others to work interculturally, to really get the value out of that? Because all the statistics show, I've got lists and lists of statistics which show working interculturally is absolutely what we should be doing. Like, we're more efficient, we're more effective, we're more productive, we're more innovative. So it's all these wonderful things, but we need to know how to unlock that.
Yes.
And so that's kind of where my passion lies. It doesn't lie in one of the job titles I've had, but it's how do we work together better in intercultural environments. And I get all the joys of meeting amazingly interesting people because of that.
Yes, I can see that you're social, you like working with people, you like different cultures and teamwork. Always, when you work on a team, of course, the results are better. And I can see the challenges also. I like that you said there is a challenges when you're coming from a different culture and how do you deal with this. All this, is, of course, is sometimes it's challenging, but when you succeed in that, this is the beauty of working in teams and with different cultures. I like this passion of yours. We have here some people starting coming in. Thomas Morgan saying hello. Yara sending her regards also. Diana Walsh, one of the big fans of the show. Thank you, Diana. She's from Ireland. She's coming also in. Amr Turkstani also sending his regards. Thank you, Amro.
Hello.
And we have Yara. Yes, this is recorded and there will be a replay after the show ends. We have our friend here, our great friend Debbie. She's saying she's watching with Paulina. She's sending her regards.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you.
Faisal Waidat also sending his regards. He's from Emirates. And Valerie Mekki from LA. Thank you, Valerie, for joining us.
Oh, Valerie's always so generous.
Yeah, she's always very nice. Yes, very kind. Let's go to digital and tell us about the stories, companies. Of course, after what happened in the pandemic, everybody is excited, going digital, digital transformation. And what's your advice how to tackle this area for companies who don't have digital space, or they are new about that, or companies who are working on traditional solutions or something? What's your advice from your years of experience in that?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question right now. I think you say it exactly right. We're all going a bit digital crazy right now.
Yes.
It's kind of the in thing for us to be doing, right? So, and I work in that field right now. So my first kind of piece of advice here might seem a little bit counterintuitive to me working in it and it being the thing. But I think my first piece of advice would always be, don't digitize just because everybody else is.
Yes, that's good.
And don't do it because you feel you have to. And there's this peer pressure, right? You have to be doing something. That's not actually the case. And I certainly wouldn't recommend doing that, because once you start getting into this space, you need to then keep building on it. So if you build on a shaky foundation, or if you build on something that isn't fully what you might be looking for in the future, then you're actually making more problems for yourself. So I would say always have a very clear vision, and some people call it a North Star as well.
Yeah. Nice.
And so you choose your core set of technologies that you bring into your business that would always clearly execute or contribute in some way towards getting a step closer towards that vision of yours. And not just digitizing because somebody says you should. It should always be something that contributes to that point in that on your horizon that you're aiming for. So that would definitely be my first piece of advice, even though it's a bit
No,
counterintuitive.
it's right. You should not do it because everybody's is doing it. You should check first the status quo. What's the industry trends? What's the status for the company? I love this first piece of advice.
Yeah, don't rush in.
Yes.
Don't rush
And tell me. Yeah.
I guess my next pieces of advice is kind of a couple in one. Is all about mindset. So again, it's not about jumping in. It's about making sure that you're making the right choices and that you're setting yourself up for success. So I would say you want the right internal and external mindset. So yeah, internally, the way we need to start seeing digital transformation is that it's an enabler for the business to be more successful, whether that's more streamlined, more efficient, more saving costs. It could be any number of things that it delivers, but it needs to be owned by the business and not an IT project.
Yes. True.
And somewhere a lot of these things are failing right now because you come in with an IT project and people don't pay much attention, and then it might not have it might fall flat on implementation because you haven't got everybody around, but it also might not deliver all the capabilities that it could for you and your business if you haven't got the right people on board, right? So it's very much about making sure that it's a collaborative relationship where IT are supporting the rest of the business to be successful in reaching their objectives and their goals. And it's not about running an IT project. So I said, exactly right. That's your internal, and then external. You always need to be thinking why you're doing it is always about the customer. So even though it might be that you're improving your processes, which is great for you as a company, the reason you should be improving those processes is to make things better for your customer. Exactly. So it's always about improving the customer's experience. And unless you're thinking about that and you're just thinking about yourself, then you're not doing the right things.
Totally. Your end goal must be the consumer and the customer experience. Of course, the customer service. This will retain your consumers, will add consumers also through the word of mouth. And of course, like you said, it's not about the technology. Maybe you're running a Ferrari, but nobody knows how to use it. So you must manage the change, manage people expectations. You must train your people, or the project will fail. I totally agree with you. We have here. Tell me.
You just segued into my favorite piece. I just want to reach through and give you a big hug for that, because that would be absolutely my next piece.
Yes.
To not underestimate what it takes to adopt and embed this kind of change throughout the organization. True. And you said all the right words. It's change management. It's training, it's learning, it's resources, it's supporting others. So all those words that you just mentioned, it's check for a change lead on digital transformation like me. You're the kind of guy we want on our team.
Thank you. I'm ready, and I'm ready to come to join you in the Netherlands anytime. And I totally agree. And you said about the why first and the North Star, and it's all about also leadership. Leadership should be involved, should give the push. Leadership should be aware that we're not just buying a project or new technology. You must do it through people, and this is your role to get the. We have here, we were speaking about music. Remember, before the live, we here have a great DJ G from Oxfordshire. Thank you for joining us.
Wow.
He's saying that, he's saying he had to take his DJ sets online since the lockdown. So this is, I think it was really challenging for the DJs, because it's all about going, meeting people and having events. Going to nightlife, it was really, I think, a big struggle for DJs. And I've listened, by the way, to shout out to him. I've listened to one of his sets. He's amazing also.
I'm going to go and listen to DJ.
Yes.
To hear that.
Valerie is saying don't digitize because everyone else is. Yes, great tip. We agree with you, Valerie. So DJG is saying, how would you advise DJs to do this? I think it's a good question.
It's a really good question.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, I was helping my favorite band do some digital marketing stuff before COVID, funnily enough, and they kind of rolled things back a little bit, but they're beginning to wind things back up, hoping that it's coming to an end. So I didn't really have to help them out through the COVID situation, but at least I've got a little bit of familiarity with the music industry and a couple of marketing aspects on there. And what I would say, I think, number one, you did exactly the right thing by getting yourself digital, getting yourself on there. So one of the first things that we did when COVID hit was we ran a digital concert.
Yeah.
And we went to the fan groups. Okay, it was one specific band, but we went into the fan groups and invited people to come and join a virtual concert. And we all were watching the music and we were able to talk to each other at the same time in the chat windows. So I think it's the same for a DJ. It's about the experience of being at a show. It's about the community. It's about the people. So the advice I would give is to, use YouTube, use these things to do some kind of live shows and get people to talk to each other, get the fans to talk to each other. That's what it really is about. If you can get those people interacting with each other, you're building a community. And if you're building a community, you're not just building loyalty, but you're building a place where people feel welcome, where people want to be, so they'll keep coming back. Not just because they're loyal because they're part of it, but they'll be loyal because, who doesn't want to be part of a great community? So I would say that would be my advice. Choose which platform works for you. Create a community. Get people to join in your shows. You could even pre-record and you could join in the community and start talking to them as well. I mean, I'm sure the fans would love to hear from you rather than have you stuck behind the decks all night,
Excellent advice. Yes, I think you were right. Hitting it right here. Go to the right channels, and he can go live and talk to the fans. And after building the community, this will be really a great treat to all the fans. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, send me an invite.
Yes, please, anytime. So we have here also. Debbie is saying it's so true about improving client experience. I have clients who prefer a digital exercise program, but many want and need an in-person experience, especially those clients who have some dementias but still need physical and mental exercise. Yeah. Thank you, Debbie, for your comment. And we have here Nidal Hakel is joining also. Hello, Ahmed. Greetings. Thank you, Nidal, for joining us. He's saying actually he's doing every week set on Facebook, Mixcloud, YouTube, Twitch. I think he's already active.
He's building a community up around it, DJG. I have to talk to DJG after this.
Yes.
I want to know more.
We're excited really to know more about that. Yes.
I'm happy to help in any way I can as well.
Yes. Thank you, Philippa. Khais is saying when companies decide to go digital, they must invest in proper infrastructure or else everything will fall apart. I agree with him.
Yeah.
Ambreen sending her regards. Thank you, Ambreen, from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, nice.
Okay, we have already an invite from DJG. Great.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that.
Carla here, also the big fan of the show. Thank you, Carla, for joining us, and she's doing great on LinkedIn. So if we go to also tell us about traditional marketing versus digital and social media plans. What do you suggest for brands who want to make their shift in their marketing strategy? Do they have to stick to traditional marketing, do mix between traditional and digital, or just go digital and social media planning? What do you advise your clients or people you
Yeah,
work with?
I mean, this one, it's a difficult one. So I'll start with a little story.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago, something like that, I went to the Adobe Summit, and I was very excited. It was all fabulous, amazing tech going on, lots of good stuff. But I actually left feeling quite scared, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
So at this point, I've been in marketing 18 years, something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And I found out exactly how much I didn't know. I found out exactly how much marketing has changed and is
Yeah.
changing every year and
Yes.
very quickly. And it really was a moment for me to pause and think, okay, this is how the industry's going. How am I going to make sure that I don't become an extinct dinosaur? How do I make sure that I'm part of what's going on? And how do I
Yes.
keep up with all of this? So, I then took a step back and I looked at things, I thought about things, and I did take some actions myself. But I think the main point of telling you the story was that what I actually found out once I stepped back and had a look was that, yes, there's some tech that's very fancy and enables us
Yes.
to now, push messages out across the world in seconds, across many different platforms and in many different formats. So you can use videos, you can use pictures, you can use tech, you name it.
Yes.
But ultimately, it is still marketing. Marketing and the old skills of marketing are still
Exactly.
the same. So I did feel a bit overwhelmed when I went to this summit. And I thought there's just no place for even marketing anymore.
Yeah.
It's so not true. That marketing is a skill, and it is a skill that's here to stay. It's just going back to what we said when we talked about digital transformation.
Yes.
It's just tech enabling marketeers to be more specific, to be more targeted,
Yes.
to have further reach. But marketing itself is still the same. So in that regard, I would tell people to not be scared because I know the world of digital marketing, when you first look at it, can be very overwhelming. It certainly was for me.
Yes.
But there's a few kind of key things that I would pull out, I guess, if I was to give people advice. So I think this is something you probably know from LinkedIn as well, and probably all the audience.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
Yes.
So every time somebody comes into contact with your brand or your company or you or whatever, because it might be a personal brand, they should always see the same. It should still be the same story, whether it's an email or social media or a blog or even printed materials, because that does still exist out there.
Yes, totally agree.
It needs to have the same, feel and message. So be consistent. I think that's something to keep in mind, because it's very easy to do something slightly different for Facebook versus what you're going to print in a magazine versus what you put on your website. But you need to maybe tweak things, but you still need to be very consistent so that people know it's coming from the same place and telling the same story, just slightly differently.
I totally agree with you, and I think the medium's changed, yes, but still you need to have to grab the attention, the interest, the desire, the action. Still, this works. Still, you can put the clear message. Still, it's human to human. You need to build the emotions and trigger the emotions so that people are come and build the word of mouth, and people start to talk about your brand and about what your brand represents and all that. And this is marketing. It is, but that's now on TikTok, on different social media platforms that we are maybe not aware of, like before. The new generations, like Generation Z or the new generation, know it more, but still the principles of marketing is the same. So I totally agree with you.
And again, you said all the right words. So
Yeah.
how could somebody talk about your brand and, you know, all of those things if they're not sure what it is? Because every time they see it, it's something different. So you really need to make sure you have that consistent story, because then people can do exactly what you say. They can talk about who you are, what you stand for, all, you know, your story, all of those things. But if every time they see something different, nobody will be able to talk about it.
True. True, your message.
My first tip.
Yes.
Another one that probably, again, the LinkedIn audience probably know this stuff, but it's about providing value and interest.
Yes.
So, you know, share information, show that you know your stuff. You know, you don't have to hoard it. It's not that everything that you know needs to be, you know, have a price tag.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Nobody's going to pay a price tag for what you know if they don't believe or know that you know stuff, right?
Yes.
So you have to have that kind of proof. And you know, I think what I've been certainly seeing recently in things is that, you know, generosity gets rewarded. You know, be a giver. So, you know, like I say, share that information, show that you know your stuff. You know, if you're, I don't know, in the food industry, I work in the food industry.
Yeah.
Share great recipes. You know, get a chef to make a great recipe. That's not what you're actually selling, but still, because you're in that kind of mind space and business space, you know, think a little bit differently. You know, if you're in the fashion industry, share some of the latest stuff from the catwalk so that people like me don't have to go and search for it, you know? So if you can provide, if you can provide resources that answer people's frequently asked questions or things that they would search for online, if you can supply that, then they'll keep coming back to you and they'll begin to build some level of trust with you. So don't be, you know, don't hide all your knowledge. You know, share the wealth.
Exactly. I always say that you need to capture a share of mind of the people are busy now scrolling, going through, but you need to like do something, not be boring talking about your product, talk about something that attracts people, like you're saying, recipes that when people you keep talking about, did you see this recipe? So who was doing this recipe, this brand X, and this is how you build it, and this is how you build a community. I love what you're saying. It totally resonates with me. I think we have a party going on here. A lot also wants to join with DJG, and I see Diana Walsh is excited also.
See, we're building a community already.
Yeah, we're building a community already, yes.
This is how you do it.
Yeah. We have also Prag Mehta here from India. He's joining us. Hi, all. Thank you, Prag, for joining us. DJG, yes, we can follow all. DJG is a great DJ. Yes, we'll follow you certainly. And he's having a show soon. Yeah, great. Carla saying brand consistency, excellent advice. Glad I haven't strayed.
Good.
Thank you, Carla. Very cool. Yes.
Carla gets a big gold star today.
Yes. Prag Mehta, absolutely right, said that there has to be value addition to create win on both sides. Yes, Prag, thank you.
Absolutely. You've got to be valuable. I'm being a giver.
Debbie, being a giver, love this. Yes, we love what Philippa is saying about that. Yes. Okay, you have a new follower here from DJG.
Nice. I'll follow you back afterwards.
Type G, hello. Type G, thank you for joining us also.
Oh,
yes, DJG's party time. Yes.
I like the sound of that. I'm trying to think. I've been totally swayed by the idea of a party now.
Yes.
Marketing tips, but hey, let's just go have a party.
Let's throw a party soon. Yes.
I'm trying to think what else. Another thing that's really important for marketing now, actually. And again, DJG, this one's for you too.
Yes.
So if you get any kind of engagement whatsoever, respond.
Yeah.
And that's not just for LinkedIn, that's for everything. To be in direct communication with your potential audience is a gift. Okay, I was a marketer for all these years where just having one contact name was worth its weight in gold, right? And now you have all these people right there, and so don't let that opportunity pass. Engage with them. And I can't say it enough, just engage. As soon as somebody hits a like or hits a share, thank them, say hello, ask them a question. If you get a conversation with them, you never know, they might also even start making, consumer content for you. So you can take clippings of what the conversations, and that's content that's made for you. Or if they're asking you questions, it's going to be questions other people have. So if you can answer it in a broad forum, again, you're adding value to other people. So engage, get everything you can out of anybody who shows any kind of following or liking of anything that you're doing.
Yes, I totally agree with you. By the way, also I have marketing background, so I can relate to what you're saying. We used to go for research to get consumer insights and make focus groups and all that. Now it's all available online. It's very easy through your page to interact with people, or even now on Clubhouse and all these new apps. It's easy that you can talk with your consumers, which was really hard years ago or years back. I totally relate with you.
Exactly. But you mentioned a good one there, Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Really good for doing your own little market research. You just have to linger in some of the rooms and you can hear what consumers are wanting or asking. It's free information, and it's worth a lot of money. So I think Clubhouse is a great place to start doing some of this for yourself as well. Yeah. And then I would go on just to my last, I guess, marketing tip one. And it would be to not be afraid to experiment with the various platforms and various content types. I will come back a bit to that a bit later, I think, but it's more, you can use the analytics, and most of these analytics are free. You don't have to have paid services anymore. And you can see what is creating engagement with your potential customers. And you can see where they hang out. So if you find out that you're posting everything on Facebook and that's not where your people are, then you can stop posting on Facebook, save yourself the energy. But if they're all on Instagram, double down on Instagram and go heavy at it. So try out and see where your people are, and then cut out the ones where they're not. Don't keep thinking you have to do everything, because you don't. You need to be where your people are. And then content types, it's the same thing. Practice with some pictures or some infographics and some text posts and some video posts and some live posts even. Try everything and see what resonates with your audience, see what gets the engagement, and just don't be afraid to try stuff. And if you get no likes and no comments, that's okay. Because your people aren't there, or maybe it's just not the type of content that they want. You've learned something new. So I would say that that's always a key thing, is just go for it. Experiment on the platforms, experiment with the types of content, and see what works for your people.
Exactly, testing and at different times and through different platforms, and you will find your people, you'll find your tribe and community. I like that.
Times is a good one as well. Yes, different times of day. Yeah.
Yes. Great. Olga is joining us. Olga, you're not very late.
Hey,
Thank you
Olga.
for joining us. I saw by that authenticity must align well with marketing. Yeah, good point.
Absolutely, it's a very
Good
good point.
point.
It's it's one of the key things that you need to include in your story. So when we were talking about being consistent, this is part of what should be included in that consistent story. Is whether it's your mission, your inspiration, your beliefs, your drivers, your goals. The reason you exist, whatever it is. But yeah, make sure it's authentic all the time.
Great. Yes.
People can see through when you're
Yes,
not.
yes, you must be real, and people can understand. That's why people now are getting more into life because they want to see the real you, the real brand behind you, and not videos. And it's the same with Clubhouse versus
Yeah.
podcasts. So it's something that's not recorded, something that's live, something that they can interact with you live. So I think that's I agree with you and
Good point,
advice.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
DGG, yes, we love connecting with you and we are ready to party. Fragment saying responding in time with relevant information. Data is really critical to keep engaging. Yes, yes, data is knowledge is power. Totally, totally agree with
Yeah.
you.
Don't ghost anybody. Don't ghost them. Make sure you
Yes.
just say something, say hi, thank you, anything.
Valerie is saying yes, Clubhouse is so valuable. We should host a room.
Oh,
Okay.
Valerie, so much fun with Valerie. She is so positive and fun. We can make that work.
Yes, Type G now, lots of information are easily available. I totally, totally agree with you.
In the olden days, I tell you that analytics cost you a fortune, and now
Of
it's
course, it would cost a lot. Yes, yes, that's totally, totally true. Fragmenta, I believe that your last tip, but not the least, though, is even valid for the fields other than marketing. Being in finance, truly food this very relevant and useful. Thank you, Fragmenta. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Philippa, tell us about your Unleash Change Management Summit. I know that you're part of this and you're speaking, and this is coming soon. Tell us about what you're going to speak about, and tell us about this great summit.
No, I'm so excited. I have to say, it's quite an honor. I feel very humbled to even be asked to speak at the event. So, yeah, we have Unleashing Change Management Summit, which is Europe's #1 sort of change management event.
Wow.
And yeah, they invited me to speak. So of course I said yes. How could I not? The event's actually on Thursday. And the objective of the summit is to bring together people from different industries to discuss all the key trends and innovative approaches to change management. Might not excite everyone. It excites me. Especially in right now, because with our recent times and COVID, our world has changed, and there seems to be an overwhelming desire for us to not go fully back to how things were. So we might not know what the new normal is yet, but I feel that the new normal will still be different to the old normal. And so we need to start doing change management differently. We spoke at the beginning about, how it's about people and business and change management. That's all it's about. It's about people. And if we're not together, we're working virtually, there's different dynamics at play. There's different things going on. So we need to adjust and course correct how we're going to do this to make sure that we give the support to the people who need it when they need it, and that people aren't left kind of floundering or feeling overwhelmed at any point. So I'm really excited to go and hear sort of the latest and how people are dealing with all of these things. And I think, the whole summit offers a unique opportunity for us to share knowledge like that. Again, everyone being a giver, it's that whole thing to share that knowledge between different people from different industries, because what works in another industry is most likely going to be able to work here, because it's about people. It doesn't matter what I'm making or selling it matters about how we treat people. So very excited, and I'll be talking about engaging and enabling people. What a surprise, it's the people side.
Yes.
So it's engaging and enabling people through change. And I'll be talking with Julia Whitlin from PepsiCo. So it'll be the two of us in a session together. And we had a little mini rehearsal earlier today.
Good.
So yeah, we're set to go. And I think it's going to be pretty relaxed. And I'm just looking forward to hearing what other people have been doing and stealing all of their ideas, pretty much.
Great. Is it virtual or you're going to meet it?
Yeah, it's virtual, but they've done some great stuff with different sort of speed dating events on the side and all sorts of things, so that we get to interact with people, we get to really meet each other. And again, it's a lot about creating that connections, not just having people speaking at you virtually. It's going to be a very interactive event. And I'm sure I'm going to meet lots of really incredibly skilled people on Thursday. So yeah, very excited about it.
That's great news for you, and we wish you all the best in this conference.
Thank you.
Tell me about your passion about emails and all these posts about emails. You got me scared now. I don't want to send you any emails.
I know, right? I'm surprised we're able to have this conversation.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I've recently been posting just a small series. You'll be glad to know that it's nearly finished, right? A small series on.
No, I really think it's amazing. Sorry to cut you out, but it's really amazing. So share with us like a few tips on this email, because really it's helpful for all professionals. So yeah, go ahead.
No, so yeah, it's essentially, I called it Talk and Email Like a Leader. But essentially it's about communication, and I'm into communication. I think, again, that's about the human aspect of things. If we can all communicate with each other better, then I think that's how we make the magic happen, and how we can include more people, and you can have all sorts of repercussions from good communication. So I actually I pulled all of these hints and tips together for myself a while back, because I noticed quite a number of my Englishisms that are quite normal didn't travel well interculturally.
Yes.
So communicating interculturally, I was very often misinterpreted, misunderstood, taken the wrong way, or all sorts of different things going on. So I thought, okay, I'm going to pull together some hints and tips that will help me to clean out my Englishness, hopefully, and be a little bit more international. So I pulled this stuff for myself, and a few weeks ago I just posted one of them as a kind of, hey, here's a tip, and people reacted really well. So I'm just kind of posting all the things that I'd written out for myself, make them look a little bit prettier, but it's just what I did for myself. And I'll try and give my top 5, even though I'm sure I'll get them in the wrong order, and I'm sure I'll miss some.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But everyone, check out my posts from the last, say, 3 weeks or so, and you'll see all of them.
Yes, please.
They're good fun anyway. And the reason that I share them as well is that they really work. Yes. So I noticed results instantly when I was making, and I, without having to master any of these. So you can still mess up 9 times out of 10, but even the 1 time out of 10 that you do manage to correct some of your language, it makes an impact. People have noticed. People have said to me, hey, you're different, or it gets noticed instantly. So that's why, again, I want to share them with everyone, because it's something I found really actually has an impact.
It's helpful. It's good knowledge. Yes.
Yeah, it's not just, oh, hey, try this, and I've read it in a book somewhere. This is stuff that I lived and I've noticed really works. So right, let's try and remember my top 5. So
yeah, even 3, whatever is on top of your mind.
Okay, I'd say one really simple one that's really good is always start with your request or your call to action. So when you're speaking or emailing, it's very common for us to say, hey, how are you doing? I hope you have a nice day. And you know, the report that we need to do, we need to put this, and this in the report, blah, 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 blah. And then right at the end, you say, so can you have it emailed to me by the end of the day? And what this apparently does in psychology is it actually conveys a message of weakness. And it doesn't sort of get the message to people. So for a message to land, especially interculturally, it's much easier to start out so you'd start what I said with, I need the report emailed to me by the end of the day. And then you say, remember, the report must include this, and this. And I hope you all had a nice weekend or whatever. But put your sort of call to action.
Main message. Yeah, call to action, yes, at the beginning. Great. Yeah, that's a great advice.
Emailing. So that's quite a simple one that any of us can do quite easily, especially on email, because you can write it out and then move things around.
Great.
I'd say another one is, this one was a really one that I've had to work on, and I still am, is replacing weak language. So there's a number of different things that sit in this area, but it's things like saying, oh, I might go to the party, DJG. It's saying, you know, oh, I sometimes like to eat French fries.
Yes.
And it's this just, might, probably, sometimes. It's those kind of words that that we use to soften messages. So I don't want to go to the party, but I'll just say, oh, I might go, because it's nicer than saying, no, I'm not going. But it's actually conveys that you don't even, so in a business context, it conveys that you're not even sure of yourself. And if you don't even believe yourself, why would anybody around you believe what you're saying? So, you know, oh, I think this is probably the way we should run this project. Doesn't install, you know, doesn't put the team around me in confidence that I'm the right person to lead the project. Whereas if I say, this is how we should be leading the project, it conveys a much more confidence, and it doesn't necessarily mean people will automatically be confident in you, but at least you're not saying that you doubt yourself. At least I'm showing that I believe in myself. And so I'd say that's a really important one, is, you know, try and, you know, take out these just mights, probably, maybes, and it just powers up your language a little bit.
I like that, exactly. Yes, very, very useful tips. I liked it, and let's also take some comments from our people here. Debbie's saying, I've been hoping to experience Clubhouse. Yes, Debbie, we all I think we want to be more active on Clubhouse. DJG with us. He's saying this is great information. Thank you. Thank you. Olga also sending her regards. Thank you for coming in, Olga.
Hi, Olga.
Tayyip G is sending also his best of luck in your coming conference and summit. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Tayyip G.
Thank you. You're awesome here.
Pragmata change is something which all of us face and have to manage because of the Agile and VUCA world. I look forward to be connected with you and get more learning. Okay, so we have another connection. Yeah, Pragmata is really a great experienced finance guy. I think he was working in Walmart for years, and he has great experience.
Fabulous.
It's a great connection of mine, yeah. Paulina, love this. Philippa, Ahmed, thank you so much, Paulina, for tuning in. Qais is saying helpful tips. Thank you, Qais.
Nice.
Carla, I got criticized for never softening my content and context.
Yeah, sometimes it's a no-win. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But I was somebody who softened everything I said, and it didn't do me any favors.
Yes.
And I think, yeah, at times you probably do need to, use probably, and sometimes I use it there, but I think not all the time, because I really did. Everything I said was always softened. Every time I recorded anything, anytime I emailed anyone, I softened everything down, and I think I took it way too far. So
I totally agree with you. I think in business, I think being kind to people and social media or something, but I think in business and this work or something, like you said, maybe you're perceived that you're shy or something, or people don't understand it in the right way. I totally agree with you.
And you can still be kind. I'm sure Carla is still kind. It's not.
I totally agree.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying, Carla, as well, and I do recognize what you say too. And I think, as with everything, it's always about a bit of a balancing act, right? So maybe you can use a couple of extra softeners. I could use to do a few less.
DJG is active with us today. Yes, using negative language gives negative results.
That would have been one of my favorite ones. That's try and reframe everything to be positive, because it's all very scientific, but very long story short is that by reframing things to be positive, it's been proven it changes our brain. It actually changes physical body and our brain, and it has the same impact on others around us. So hey, never been a better time to spread positivity, because you're actually making physical improvements as well. So it's always try and reframe for the positive. It makes you and everyone around you feel so much better, and you can still get the same message across. You just say it in a more positive way.
Yes, we need more positivity and empathy, especially during these times. I totally agree with you. Carla, yes, a bit of balance. Yes, Carla, that's right. Tell us about your activity now on LinkedIn. I've seen you've been active. I don't think before you've been active, and you participated in a 20 days challenge, radio challenge, and part of GA. And tell us about how do you feel about LinkedIn and being active on LinkedIn and going live. I think this is the first time. I'm very happy that you are first time going live with me on my show. It's an honor. So tell us about that.
Oh, thank you very much for a start. No, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for looking after me and being kind.
Thank you.
I will go live again. You haven't made it so horrible that I won't do it again. I started going live on I started kind of posting daily on LinkedIn properly from January. I did do a little bit at the end of last year, but then I had a global relocation, and it was a bit difficult to kind of manage everything. So I did have a little gap in between. So really, it's been since January that I started, and I have to say it's been an incredible experience. I think LinkedIn is very different from other social media. I think I have been stunned to find such a welcoming and friendly and warm community. Everyone encouraging each other as well as me. I feel like I've been welcomed to a new little family. I'm meeting new people like yourself all the time. And everyone who I'm meeting is fabulous and really good at what they do as well. So it's kind of an honor to be meeting so many talented people. And the video challenge you mentioned. I'm usually, I'm the marketeer. I'm the one behind the scenes.
Yes.
I'm not usually in front of the cameras. But I appreciated that it's a skill that, that I didn't have, and that would be very useful to have. So I forced myself onto Shanae Murray's 21 video challenge. If anyone doesn't know Shanae, look her up. She's the real deal, people. She did a 21-day video challenge where every day we had to post a video. Yes. It was a baptism of fire. Within 2 minutes of the first training session, she's like, right, you're now going to record a video. all of us.
No.
It was really tough. But I was very, very lucky. I actually got put in a pair with Rollis.
Yeah.
Rollis is a live pro. So
Yes.
although he wasn't necessarily a video pro, he was a little bit more experienced than me. And he was so generous with his time, like holding my hand while I did my first video. And I did it. I did all 21 days. And just because
Amazing.
for some reason I like punishing myself, I actually signed up for the second one. So
Wow.
I'm still doing it. And I think I still find it challenging. It's a different skill set, so you have to kind of really learn what you're doing there, and I'm nowhere near there. When I look at myself, I still see a terrified person on a video. So I think I've still got a lot of practice to go, but versus where I started, I can already see the growth. And I think, again, it's just a matter of making yourself do it and forcing yourself
Consistency.
to do it.
It's a matter of consistency. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I had nothing but support. Again, I was so scared after the first one. So I would say anybody who is worried about this kind of thing and wants to be a bit more visible on LinkedIn and start doing their thing, yeah, be brave. Be brave.
Yes.
It's not nice. It really isn't. The first one is horrible. I'm not going to give you any lies here. I'm not going to say it's wonderful. The first one is really horrible, but it gets better each time and you get more comfortable, and it's definitely worth it because the people I've met through doing it are well worth any kind of discomfort that I had at the start. Really, really worth it. So that would be my takeout for posting on LinkedIn and doing these videos. Just be brave. Just do it. Jump in.
Yes, I totally agree. You don't have to be like fully ready or something, but by time you will improve through consistency. And shout out, of course, to all these beautiful people you mentioned. I know them all. I know all of them almost, and they're very nice. Yeah, they give us power, and when we see them do these live shows, do these videos, we get encouraged to do more and more. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, they're a great group, I tell you.
Yes.
Yeah, so again, community, everybody, and just join in the LinkedIn community. I'm open to connections. Join me, and I'll happily cheerlead you on in whatever you're trying to achieve.
Thank you, Philippa, so much. And Carla's saying exactly, I convey optimal information processing. She's working also on content about brain development, and you should watch for her posts. She's been working on that for years, and thank you, Carla, for your
Carla,
comment.
I look forward to that. Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
DJG, it's great meeting you all. Yes, DJG, we're happy that you joined us today. Diana, it's fascinating listening to you both. Thank you so much, Diana. Philippa, we're so happy to have you today. And before you go, do you have any questions to me?
Who's next?
Nice, I like it. Yeah. It must be a surprise, and every time there is a surprise guest, and soon there will be coming good guests on May, and one of them is Rollis. Also, I think he will join us in May because I love his work, and really I think that everybody will be getting from experience in live and getting people live. I'd love to hear from him about that. So yes, and Rollis, and we have a lot of I have a lot of good guests coming in like you.
No. Oh. And then my one last question would be, when you spoke to Shanae, what was your biggest takeout from when you spoke to her?
She's very real. She's authentic. She's very humble. She's straight to the point. She will tell you what you have to do. And watching her doing this, and she's having all these followers, almost 1 million followers, you'll feel like, and she's doing all that, you'll feel there isn't time for her to rest, but she's doing more and growth. She's thinking always about growth. So always motivated, very energetic. I love her energy. So it was great, of course. And I have only one story. Maybe I told her before. I said it before here on the show. Twice we did live. One time we did it. It was not recorded. I thought it was recorded, but something happened. And this is the experience that you get. That something happened that it didn't go live. And of course, I thought she will never go live again with me. And she told me, no, this happened to me, and this is like I like this kind of leadership. She told me it happened to me before, and I'll come and we'll do it again. And like 1 or 2 months after it, we did it really again, and it went live. And of course, I owe her a lot. She's amazing, like you said, yeah. She's an amazing leader.
Yes. Coming full circle back to what we were talking about, she's a giver.
Yeah, totally. Ada Olika here joining us at the last few seconds. Thank you, Ada. She's from Nigeria. My friend keeps soaring higher. Thank you, Ada. Carla's sending her regards also. Thank you, Carla, for joining us, and thank you for all people who joined us. And thank you, Philippa, for your time. I hope you enjoyed your time and enjoyed your first live, and hopefully you'll be doing a lot of lives, and you'll be coming back again to the show with us.
I will. Just ask me when, and I'll be there. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you everyone for your lovely kind words.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.